What's up, guys? It is Altcoin Al here. Yep, finally came up with a name for the channel. And I just wanted to make a quick update on Vib. So let's see, yesterday I mentioned that you should probably buy below 3100 as we would enter a rather long wave 3, right? I had estimated that potentially it would look something like this. Oops. There we go. So it would look something like this, and then this wave 3 right here, it would be a long wave. Go way up there. Clearly, it doesn't look like that's what happened, right? Regardless, if you bought around the price point I suggested, could have made an okay profit overnight. I mean, that's 60% profit if you knew to sell, but at the very least around a 50% profit. Anyway, so back to this. Looking at the chart this morning, and today I'm on the hourly time scale, I'm noticing some worrisome things. In fact, worrisome enough to where I would suggest you sell. And let me explain my logic, just so you can kind of make the decisions yourself. Okay, so what I'm seeing this morning is a start of a potential rise in wedge, which is not good. This pattern implies that there could be a sharp fall. So for example, here we have, our nice little wave 1. But here we're seeing this very worrisome pattern starting to show. This sort of implies there's a bit of worry in the market, a bit of uncertainty. And so if this pattern continues right here, something like this happens, right? So we're seeing this. Okay. Chances are, almost certainly, that it'll just go down. Okay. I know no one likes bad news, but there is another possibility, of course. There was always another possibility. This could be sort of bilateral triangle. If, for example, instead of kind of remaining at the same amplitude the entire way through this channel, if it instead decides to decrease its amplitude, right? At this point, I mean, it's essentially a 50-50. In a way it always is, isn't it? But so the way you'd play this sort of 50-50 possibility is if you own Vib, if you bought it yesterday below this line, I would start setting up stops, right? You want to say that if it drops below this line, then go ahead and sell, right? And you want to move up your stop, right? Because at this point the profit is already made, okay? But you don't want to lose out on this potential peak. Okay, and so you put your stops every day. You raise them up a little bit, and you put your sells for those stops just slightly below them, so that if the price drops below the stop point, you have a sell that is also lower. That way, if the price continues to drop, you will sell your VIB before it continues to plummet down. But if the stop is reached, but the sell point doesn't get reached, that's fine. It's fine. Oh, at least you have this insurance, so to speak, which is, by the way, already profit, right? This is, what did I say? It was like 50. God, this is awful handwriting. But anyway, and in the case that it decides to skyrocket, well, then then we're talking a different thing then, right? You wouldn't have sold because these are stops, and you can just continue to reap profits. If you haven't bought at this point yet, then what I would do in your case is I would actually set up sort of buys, okay? Because in case it breaks out, okay, in case it breaks out of this rising wedge upwards, it is more than likely going to continue upwards and could give you some nice short-term profits. But anyway, naturally, so what else? What else? Let me just get rid of these 4 drawings real quick. Okay, so what else could possibly happen, right? There is a silver lining here. So let me zoom out just a bit. Let me show you kind of like the bigger picture, what's happening. I'm seeing a potential formation of a cup and handle fractal. So notice this here. Notice this, right? So this is sort of a cup formation, right? And what we want to see here is we want to see this. If we saw this channel form, then good golly, we would be flying to the sun. But this handle isn't a downwards channel. It's not a bullish flag, okay? It is instead, seems like at least, it's an upwards channel. It's a bearish flag. We don't want that. We don't want this rising wedge here. But if you look closer, in fact, let's go to 30 minutes, just to give a little wider view, right? Go to 30 minutes, we see fractals of that big cup and handle, right? We're seeing fractals. We're seeing fractals. Okay. These fractals might keep on going until finally, well, it decides to make another jump, just like this. But that is some far-fetched speculation at this point. And all I can tell you is to be safe, right? From the way it looks currently, well, it might just follow this rising wedge pattern. This rising wedge is where a lot of people lose money. A lot of people try to buy during this time, but this is not the time to buy. This is very difficult. You have to be watching. You have to be watching these numbers as they happen 24/7, right? Or just be smart enough with your buys. But if you already own VIP, this is a slightly easier thing to do, right? Every hour, you just raise your stops. You raise your stops because at this point you've made your profits already. You cannot lose money at this point. So just raise your stops. You can just lose out on money, but you can't lose money. That's an important thing. Don't let your greed accidentally let you lose a lot of money. Don't hope for, oh well, I mean, it'll it'll go down, but then it'll go way up, right? That's not the only option here. In fact, if it goes down at this point, it's gonna go down for a while, and it'll take some time for it to rise, right? And don't panic sell either. Don't panic sell. Don't. If you forgot to set up your stop points, right? Forgot to set up your stop points, and it keeps going down, and you're like, oh no, I should have sold. I'm already in the negative. At this point, you know, kind of think to yourself. You could panic sell, of course. I mean, that's what a lot of people do at this point. But you saw what happened to Bitcoin just the other day. I wish I could click on that. There we go. It's 12,000 right there. Okay. Let's see a 3-hour view, right? We were up to 19.5, 19.6 almost, right? And then over the span of a day or 2 days, it went down to 11,000, right? That's 50% retracement. A lot of people panic sold during this time. A lot of people bought up here and they sold down here because they invested too much and they couldn't handle it. Of course, it came back, right? Some people lost a lot of money. Some people made a lot of money. Anyway, at this point, I'm rambling. Well, what can I say? It's your money, your call. If you own Vib, this is how I would play it. I would raise my stops every now and then and my sells as this rise and wedge continues. Okay. If you don't own any Vib, honestly, 100%, just look at a different coin. This coin is very difficult to get in at this point. It's a very dangerous pattern. But to be honest, crypto right now, you can invest in any coin and pretty much make some profits out of it. Now it's just a boom of altcoins. Anyway, have a wonderful day. And I'll probably make another update on this coin or maybe another coin later on. Peace.